I'm a 4.0 pre-med, and one thing about me is I study smarter, not harder. I make mnemonics and techniques to maximize my studying and hopefully help you do the same. So today we're going to be talking about IUPAC nomenclature for cycloalkanes. If you're completely new, go check out my actual alkanes video so that you're going to be able to understand this video, because you do need a foundation and a base for what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's jump right in. So 1,3-dimethylcyclohexane. As I said when I was talking about alkanes, you have to note and put down where the methyl groups actually are. Not just the methyl groups, ethyl groups. It could be diethyl, it could be dimethyl, it could be dipropyl for all I care. But you have to write down where they actually are, because if not, how is the chemist going to know? So you need it could be 1,1-dimethylcyclohexane, it could be 1,4-dimethylcyclohexane, it could be 1,2-dimethylcyclohexane. I don't know. So that's the point. You have to write down where each methyl group is, so that way the person, whoever's reading it, can know where it actually is at. And I don't want to spend too much time giving you this, but I want to let you know that there are other things that exist that I'm going to give you a sneak peek. If you have a methyl group here on 1 and you have it here on 2, you could even write O dimethylcyclohexane, and that tells you that it's going to be an ortho position. If it's here like it is right now, the 1 and the 3, that would be meta or M. And then if you have a 1 and 4, then that would be para or P. That is the beauty of chemistry, that there are so many different ways to name things. So don't just feel like you're limited to one. In general, there are multiple names, and you literally can Google the name and figure out if you're doing something wrong. Chemists have an actual website that you can see if the name is correct, and it can actually tell you all the different names for that molecule or compound. And also be aware that I'm not drawing any stereochemistry specifically on this molecule. And why am I emphasizing that? Because you can even see, like, some will say like 1R or 1S or 3R or 3S or 1. And in this case, I would have to write down, like, for example, 1S 3R. And that would let you know how that molecule is in orientation. But likewise, and that's why I put cis and trans, to show you the different namings, to show you that there is more than one way to name things. Specifically in this one, if, for example, both are bold or both are dash, and when I say dash, I literally mean like dashed, like you'll see it like this. Okay, if both are dashed or both are bold, then what you got right there is cis, okay? But if you have, for example, one bold, so this is bold, even if you can't tell, this is bold, okay? And the other one is dashed, then what you have is trans. So in this one I put cis 1,3-dimethylcyclohexane, and this one I put trans 1,3-dimethylcyclohexane. And okay, I scribbled instead of making a star, but you get the point. It's not about me being a Picasso, okay? So now let's go to the next one. So again, I wanted to show you and emphasize that you have to actually write down where the methyl groups are. So it could be 1,1,3-trimethylcyclohexane. Okay, you got the point. Lastly, I wanted to kind of give you a quick surprise, but I forgot to write it, to actually edit it out. Okay, ignore that. So don't cheat. So what is going to get the priority, the bromo or the tert-butyl? And actually, now that I figured out, I actually wrote the numbers, so you already know that the bromine is going to have priority. But what I wanted to prove to you guys is that no, it's not, because, and again, I know it's a tert-butyl, okay? I keep saying butyl, but I know in actuality it's a tert-butyl. So that way you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Yes, I do. I made an A in Alchem 1 and 2, might add. So for the tert-butyl, you're going to ignore the tert. You're going to write it down. But for the naming purposes, you're going to go by the B. Okay, and I mentioned that in the other video. Like, the only one that you'll actually take it into account is isopropyl. You will take into account the I, okay? But for butyl, like the sec-butyl or the tert-butyl, you're going to ignore the sec and the tert, and you're just going to go by B for the butyl. So I wanted to show you that alphabetically you're not going like, oh, okay, bromine is Br, that's going to be priority. No, there's an actual list that chemists go by, and it shows them which functional group is going to have priority. In this case, it is going to be the bromine. So it's going to be 1 bromo, 3 tert-butyl, and then cyclohexane. And then what I like to do at the end is just combine them. And yes, I know that you need a dash, so before you say anything, here's the dash. If you enjoyed this video, again, go check out the rest of my content. I have everything on YouTube by folder. If you go to playlists, I have organic chemistry, anatomy, physiology, biology, genetics, biochemistry, etc. So go check that out, and that's to make your studying much more efficient. Again, I'm going to show you the tips and tricks, so you can choose to follow me.